lot of professional tournaments. We won a lot of tournaments worldwide. I mean, we won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them. For the first 10 years of making bowling balls, it was a big struggle. We had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of mistakes we made, but we learned from them. I mean, you don't go to school to learn how to make a bowling ball. You know, you can't buy a book on it. And a lot of what we were doing hadn't been done before anyway in the bowling ball industry. So it's always trial and error. We're always looking for the next thing. Still, when I walk downstairs and walk through the plant, there's some days it just overwhelms me that what's happened here. Just a lot of good people working hard, constantly trying to get better. Everybody here works together and understands that everybody's important, and I take a lot of pride in being a part of that. Well, bowling's been good to me. It's my life, and I take a lot of pride and try to help people get introduced to it and enjoy it. Won a lot of professional tournaments. We won a lot of tournaments worldwide. I mean, we won more in the last 10 years worldwide than any company. We make good bowling balls, and good players use our bowling balls because they can win with them.
Welcome back to the 28th Irish Open live from the Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin. Into final step 1. Positions 37 to 72. And they've just started. So on your featured pair, we've got Patrick Mekker from the Netherlands, has opened up with a double. Ion Lebioda. Guntram Bjorgen. Bjorn. Aaron Falconbridge. 4 games. So final step 1, 72 players will play 4 games starting from scratch. Players position 1 to 31 are qualified for final step 2. Players position 32 to 72 will be ranked 52 to 92 according to their position from final step 1. So final step 1 is in 2 parts. Welcome back to everybody on the chat. Thanks for rejoining us. Welcome back to Fred Miller, Castro Wilson, Graham Wilson, and everybody else that's on. Just send us in a message on the chat. Let us know who you are, where you are. Just bear with me a slight moment because I'm just uploading the interview with Jason from South Africa. Uploading now and should be on the Talk Template Facebook very shortly for Jason Bezienderhout from South Africa. I'll get it right one of these days. Bowled a 300 yesterday and qualified with 14:36. We had a slight problem with the audio. Well, not a slight problem, a massive problem. So we've redone the interview and just uploading it now. So welcome back to Ronald de Bauer, Wilson, Guernsey Gal, Kay Alsibrook, evening all. Again, I'm on my own at the moment, but I am having Tim Mack coming into the live stream very shortly. And Wes Pye's here now, so here comes Tim actually now, so we'll get him set up. I'm going to sit down. Can you move out there, matey, now, please? We've got an important guest joining us. Timothy Mack, welcome.
Dominic, oh, nice to be here, buddy.
Yeah, it's good to have you back again, sir.
Yeah, it's nice to be in the booth, and actually, it's really nice to be in Ireland, to be quite honest with you. Really, really pleased that, you know, being part of Storm, that we were, myself and actually Wes Pye is the orchestrator of this, who runs the European division, and got to be thankful for Wes with his relationship, bridging the gap with Sean Kennedy to be part of this this great event on the European Bowling Tour.
Yeah, you were a sponsor a couple of years ago, and then you had a year off, and you're back again, which is great to have Storm back.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I haven't been to Ireland in quite some time, so you know, my family roots are from here on my father's side.
Really?
So it's really nice to be back in Ireland.
Whereabouts in Ireland?
Just north of Dublin, actually. So all on my father's side. So it's pretty cool.
Have you done the family thing, go visit your roots and stuff?
Well, we've tried to, but you know, in 2004, my father turned 60, and for his 60th birthday, I brought him to England and Ireland, and got to some of the local pubs and do some of the local stuff here that tourists do, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was just a lot of fun. So to come back to Ireland, this is the first time since 2007, and to participate in the event, because I don't bowl that much anymore, to participate in the event, to be part of it, and also be involved on the sponsorship side is is really cool for me, and I know we at Storm are really happy to be part of it, and
Yeah, we're
hopefully
really
we can
happy.
make it bigger and better for years to come.
For sure, really happy to have you here, Tim. Anyway, it's always a pleasure to see you. I'll see you around the world. To see you in Vegas recently, and
Yeah,
hi Tim from Guernsey Gow, hi Tim from Kelsey-Brook, and Bernie in Munich.
That's my
Miller.
guy Bernie, my left-handed senior sensation there,
Oh,
Bernie
yeah.
Stockel.
Yeah, he likes to promote his events on our stream.
Super nice guy. We'll be in Munich there in March, but yeah, we've been working really hard here in Europe. Our team, myself, Wes Pye, myself, Peter Somoff, who's been instrumental in we're trying to really make some differences here in bowling and support competitive bowling and give the people and the customers what they need and what they want.
Well, they don't call them the Bowlers Company for nothing, Tim. To be fair, you do put a lot back.
And I want one big shout out to who's here today and last night. It was Nick Kepi from Bowltech UK, and Nick's been instrumental in the bowling industry and bowling business for quite some time, and we can't do it without him.
Yeah.
We're thankful that we're partners with him, and we're thankful for everything he does and has done for bowling. And
he was one of the first to stock the brand, though, in this region, wasn't he?
Back
in the 90s.
We've been telling some great stories, and Nick's a wealth of information. It's been great to listen to.
Yeah, the stuff you don't realise happened in the past.
The bowling centers that he's built, and I just saw a picture of a bowling center where the ball, the ball return had to go sneak. I mean, the stories are just amazing. So, but T has been a driver of bowling, in the UK and in Ireland and in a lot of places in Europe as well. So, we're really happy to be a partner with Bowltech, and obviously a partner with Nick Kepi. And it's just great. This is awesome. And I get to bowl a little bit too. This is fun.
Well, good to get onto the bowling side of it, because this is probably one title you've not won, and you've won just about everything.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have not bowled this tournament. I bowled it one time.
Yeah.
And the one time I bowled this tournament, I was throwing heavy 13, 14 pounds coming off
your injury.
Off my injury. So I really even haven't had the chance to really have the proper opportunity to win this tournament. But my dad, my mom, obviously my mom's very supportive of my bowling. So go try to win a tournament before you come home. So I don't get that chance to bowl much anymore, and I do enjoy it when I'm on the lanes.
Well, when you do, you're still competing, though.
Yeah, it's fun. I had a little
299 last week.
Yeah, it was fun in Finland.
When did you finish in the end?
In the Ballmaster, I was just outside the number, so it was pretty difficult lane condition, and
it's not an easy place to go and do well.
Yeah, I needed some more games to continue to move forward, and I think I'm doing that. And I got some games in this week, and I hope I'm able to get by a couple of these cuts.
A stupid question, because you probably don't know, but how many titles did you actually win around the world, roughly?
I've won over 75 events around the world, in America, all over the place. I've won in like 20, I think it's 26 or 27 different countries. I don't have. Never really been one to talk about my accomplishments.
Well, you're going to do, because we're going to ask you about it.
I kind of hope that it speaks for themselves.
What was your first tournament win?
I won
coming out of the States.
First international tournament I won a tournament in Denmark, actually, in 1997. I won the Roskilde Masters on their Danish tour in 1997. It was kind of the kickoff. It was a really tough. I remember the air conditioning breaking in the bowling center. And I remember Raymond Jansen and Thomas Leanderson, and there was no aircon. We were bowling in an upstairs establishment in Copenhagen. I'll never forget it. And I used a Black Thunder, and Raymond, after game one, had a gray shirt on, a gray Team Tuba shirt on. And it literally looked like he got sprayed with a hose, because it was dark gray after game one. He was sweating so much. So, but it's great to see all the people in here.
David Middleton says, Jamie's granddad says hi to Tim.
Hi back at you guys. Just great to see everybody supporting the event and getting on here. Dom, you guys at Talk 10 Pen have done a phenomenal job. Hats off to you guys for
appreciate that,
giving people an opportunity to see bowling that aren't here. You know, I mean,
this is such a great event. I felt a few years ago it needed live streaming, so I got in touch with the Irish, and they got in touch with me to do it, and it's been great for the last 2 years. It's kind of opened the window to the world for the Irish.
This is a great opportunity for the people to watch bowling and see what's going on. A lot of striking going on.
Yeah, kind of expecting it in this one. They're all chasing you guys in the next round, aren't they, really?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was kind of hoping there weren't going to be a lot of strikes. I was hoping I could just kind of squeak in there, but it doesn't look that way right now.
Yeah, Brett Armour's opened up. He's got 4 in a row down there.
Got a 7-bagger down there. You got another 6-bagger over there. And
Yeah, we're gonna
Jamie Elliott's got a 4-bagger, and
keep his eye because we're due another 300 at some point.
yeah, I mean, well, I tell you what, yesterday was great. Having my buddy Jason Bezzi.
Oh, that was amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just unbelievable to have him shoot his first 300, and really cool to be there.
Mark Sutton.
Mark Sutton.
Yeah, I know that voice. Back, Tim, from watching the Mighty Blues beat Palace 4-0 now. It's snowing, mate.
Listen, Mr. Sutton, my Albion, boing, 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 the West Brom Albion, Hawthorns till I die, are 13th in the table right now. I know we took a beating today at 3-0, but we're sitting pretty at 13th in the table, and I'm hoping we can move up. I'm a big believer in them.
Yeah, your love of West Brom's.
Love the West Brom Albion.
Came through Paul Delaney.
Paul Delaney and Del Delaney, yep. Del been living here for quite some time, and Paul's been one of my best friends.
How is Paul? I've not seen him for a while.
Doing phenomenal, doing great. Doing a lot.
He's in Australia now, yeah?
Yeah, in Australia with his family. His daughter is growing up. His wife is good. Things are good. He's working in the bowling industry down there, having a couple pro shops. He's doing really good down there.
Does he do any playing still?
He's actually starting to bowl a little bit, which is pretty cool because
it's a bit worrying as well.
I've always thought he was a great bowler, and he should have kept bowling. He was a phenomenal player, and talents like that don't come around a lot.
Well, he would have been the forerunner before Paul Moore, really.
Yeah, I mean, he was before Paul and before Dominic. He was something special. European championship medal at 13 years of age.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he won a silver in the Europeans, and he was 13.
He won medals. Yeah. Question from Ronald Boomer. Tim, who's your favourite PBA player? I mean, you've got so many friends on the PBA, it'd be unfair to name
favorite
one,
PBA player?
But
Is that when I'm playing or when I'm not playing?
yeah.
Oh, I got a bunch of friends.
Favorite all-time player.
I got a bunch of friends out there, and they're friends, but they're also competitors too. So I bowled against a couple of them. I don't bowl much against them anymore, but there's a lot of guys I respect. I love Wes a lot. I think he's a talent that hasn't been seen in a long time. I think he's a great player. I love Belmo. Watched Belmo since he was 16 years old. So met him when he was 16, and been fortunate enough to get him on staff. Got to respect Chris Barnes for what he's been able to do over his career in the PBA. It's been incredible. I mean, Tommy Jones. These are all my good friends too. Tommy Jones had a great run for a long time.
Yeah.
Pete Weber has been a dear friend of mine and a guy that I looked up to on the bowling lanes for a long time. It's just been phenomenal.
How did the pros view you over the years? Because you were a big international star, but you never really touched the PBA much.
It was weird. It was weird because I was doing quite well internationally, and then, I would bowl the Masters and the U.S. Open, and I made quite good runs at a couple of the TV shows a couple of times, and they said, come out here with the big boys, come out here with the big boys, and I said, well, I think the guys out here are pretty good too. I never said that we didn't have the best amount of bowlers in the world. I said the bowlers around the world are also really good as well.
You did kind of open the door to Americans coming to Europe.
I think so. I think so.
I mean, there were other guys that came before you. Ron Moore, who played the British Open, and Adam Appo, and people
but to do it on a full-time basis.
But yeah, to go the whole way around Asia and the world, basically.
And promote the game. I mean, I still believe that we have the biggest number of greatest bowlers in the world because we have 330 million people.
Yeah.
But if you look at the records over the international players in the last 10 years,
they've come on
pretty darn
leaps
good.
and bounds, haven't they?
So it's pretty cool to see. But I've always felt, when I did get a chance to go out on the tour, my shoulder was already starting to get bad, and I've had 5 surgeries in the last 10 years. So
was it touch and go? Were you ever playing again then?
I just kind of part-time play. It took me 3 years to get back to 15 pounds. When I had my surgery, and I took a shot at it. I made it through the tour trials, and then the sponsorship went down and the money went down, and I was at a kind of a crossroads because it's incredibly difficult to make a living at bowling now, just bowling for a living like I did for quite some time.
But to be fair, you made the right decision in the end, because
I think so.
You can go anywhere around the world now and do a clinic and make yourself a few quid.
Yeah,
you're giving back at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the clinics have been good, and you try to make a difference in the game, and I've been a full-time employee for Storm. I've been with Storm for 21 years. This is my 21st year with the company. I've basically grown up with the company, and I've watched it grow into this machine that it is today.
You're kind of the untouchable one as well. You'll always have a job with Storm now.
I hope so.
Hopefully.
I hope so. I hope so. But I've been fortunate that I've had Bill Crispin and Barbara Crispin's blessing. I've been fortunate to work with some great people, and I've been fortunate to take advantage of some opportunities when presented them, and now I'm, working really hard on a number of different facets of the company to make the company better and stronger, and we're doing that. I think we're doing that.
How much input as a player and a coach do you have in equipment being made by the company?
Oh, well,
do you give your ideas to the...
We talk about it, but I mean, in the end of the day, we've got some really smart people at home office with Hank Boomershine and Victor Marion, and we've got Chris Schlemmer, Steve Klompkin. I mean, we've got some of the best of the best of the best, and I rely on our team to continue to spit out the best products in the world, and we continue to give them what we see in the field as far as what we're seeing and what we think is going to work and what we think we're missing, the gaps we're missing.
Yeah.
And myself, and especially when I'm out on tour, when I'm tour repping with the great Del Ballard and Jimmy Callahan and myself, the three of us, we try to put together what the biggest gaps are out there.
I did have the pleasure to look at that in Vegas when you were there. I watched the three of you work, and I was impressed with just how intimate you get with your players, and you're watching everything and you know everything, and
you got to remember that.
And even just a little tap on the shoulder sometimes,
sure,
and not actually saying too much when it was impressive.
Sometimes less is more, Dom, and also sometimes you've got to. You got to know your players. You got to know what you can say to who. So it's not always the same all the time. The same, you got to mix it up a little bit. And we've got three distinct different personalities with myself and Del and Jimmy, and it works right now. So
how much scouting do you do for new players? When the players are coming through, do you go to the company and say you want to watch this person? They're looking good.
Well, we got to remember all the players are on very short leashes because the formats are so short. So you really got to stay on top of things. So that makes it incredibly difficult. That each game, each shot means so much. So you really, really got to hunker down and make sure you're making good decisions, sound decisions. And it's high pressure, high. It's not for the faint people, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So,
of all the tournaments that you won, which one meant the most to you?
I've got a couple that probably the top three for me are. 2001, I won the world. I won the big Pergamon Open in Sweden. It was after my grandmother died, and I had to go home for the funeral and come back. And wasn't sure I was going to come back. And it was the biggest tournament in Europe at the time. It was a significant amount of money and nice watch for first, and it's like 50,000 overall. And I ended up coming back and I won it and led it and won it in dramatic fashion. Other one is when I shot 300 in Singapore and won the Super Classic and shot the 300 for the big prize for $100,000 there, and that was pretty cool. Made like $120,000 in less than 24 hours.
That's nice.
And then one that always sticks in my mind is I actually do have a PBA national title in Korea and Japan. I won the Samho Cup, which is a PBA event over there, and it was actually the PBA was recognized, but for some reason didn't give me a title for it. And that was after my surgery to come back. And all the big guys bowled. We had about 25 or 30 guys over there, PBA guys, and Belmo was there, Pete was there, Rash was there, Wes was there. They were all there, and I led the whole deal, and ended up winning the stepladder in pretty crazy fashion too. So those three are the ones that stick out the most. But
I presume after such a career in the world, you really wanted a PBA title of some kind.
Not really. It doesn't matter to me either way. I've won those I've won so many tournaments with those guys in the field. It doesn't matter to me if it says PBA stamp to it or not.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, the Sweden tournament I won in Sweden had Voss was there, Lonnie was there, Mika was there, Robert Smith was there. All of them were there. The one I won in Sweden or the one I won in Korea, Parker was there. All of them were there. So to me it doesn't matter, and the players know. It doesn't really matter. And the PBA titles in the last 6 years now are much shorter formats.
It's not like it used to be.
It's not like back in the day where there's all these games you bowl.
Yeah.
So
you really did earn them in the old days, didn't you?
And that tournament that I won in Korea was every game counted. At 18 games of qualifying, 6 games in the finals, and then another 13 games of round robin match play. So every game counted.
Yeah.
And in Sweden it was the same way. They had like 7 games in the finals, and then another 7 games, and another 4 games, and it was the games that counted. So I don't have to worry about where my as far as that's concerned. Ranks up or sticks up. So
just on to the featured
some
pair
good
there.
Scores.
224 from Aaron Falkerbridge, 202 from Patrick Mecca.
See 3 240s down here. James Elliott had 240. GF, I don't know who GF was. 247. Another 240 down the end.
Yeah, it's picking up.
Yeah, looks like I got my work cut out for me.
I'm sure you'll do well, Tim. You wear your heart on your sleeve generally, don't you? And you go for it.
Fred Miller asking my children. Hey, Fred, how are you? I've talked to you on the internet a couple of times. And good to talk to you. Good to see you out here watching the bowling.
Yeah,
I have a daughter, Fred. She's 9 years old. She bowls every once in a while, but I'm not encouraging her. I'm not pushing it in on her. I'm letting her do what she wants to do. She's a really good athlete, actually. Hits a golf ball really good. She's got a great baseball swing, but she really loves acting. She loves acting, and she loves being on stage. Yeah, and that's what her focus is right now.
Oh, excellent.
She's pretty good in gymnastics as well. So I kind of let her push her. I don't push her in one direction or the other. So.
I think I've asked you this before as well. Is it tough being around the world so much and not seeing her?
It's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing for me in my life, actually.
You know, I've got this 6-year-old myself now, and if you're away for a week, you're kind of missing them.
Yeah, no disrespect to the rest of the world, but I'm getting. I don't want to say getting tired of traveling, but I'm getting tired of being away from my family.
You want to be dad again?
Yeah, I just want to be home. You only get one shot at it. But you know what? I also want to make a difference in bowling and have a future in the sport. And
I think you've earned
it. In the right direction.
You've earned a bit of a break from the actual world traveling.
3 million miles I've flown since 1996, so that's a lot of miles.
Do you get many free upgrades?
Yeah, I wish. Depends on the class of ticket. Hey, there's someone from Guernsey. I remember being in Guernsey.
Yeah, Steph.
Steph. I remember Steph. Had a good time in Guernsey, 2002.
That's the other thing, the amount of people you must have met around the world. And you do remember them, that's the thing. That's what I find difficult. I can't remember people I've seen last week, but...
You know what I try to do when I talk to people, and unfortunately I don't remember everybody, but I try to remember as many people as I can. I don't try to talk through people. I try to talk at people so I can, I listen to what they say, and hopefully they listen to what I say. So, and I try to make a connection, and, instead of just, just talking. So I've been fortunate and blessed. Pretty good memory in that regard. And been able to remember a couple people. And
you seem to be well liked by a lot of people, Tim, so whatever you've done over your career, you've done it right.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good. I mean, England has always been a great place. England.
Yeah, you were there last week doing some coaching.
I went over there, did some great clinics. We had some great students. They were really keen, really enthusiastic, from the young kids to some older lads. So it was a lot of fun.
A few that we should watch out for in the next few years as well?
There's people coming. That the Upton kids are Millie and Charlie.
Charlie, yeah.
He's something else, that little guy, and his sister. I think they're coming. I also think, Izzy Allen and Emma Allen are the two young ladies that I think are going to be, somebody to watch out for. Jack Barwick's another young kid you got to watch out for. And I think it's in a really good place.
Well, England is actually, because we've got Don Barrett, Stu and Paul doing really well on the tour now. So, I mean, we've created some heroes at last.
They were always going to do well, though, weren't they? Because they've been world-class bowlers for quite a long time. So it's just a question of whether they want to come over and bowl or not. So, hats off to them.
And the range of Storm equipment at the moment, what's upcoming?
Well, we got 2 new balls coming out called the Phase and the Fight. The Phase is a lower RG 247-051 differential, so it's a big core, got a big footprint. It's shiny. They're both new materials, new cover stock, so it's a pretty exciting time. The Phase technology, that, from what I understood from Steve Klompkin, was we had balls that used to have phasing in them back in the mid-'90s, and we've been able to create this phasing through a new chemical process, and I think it's going to be a really good popular bowling ball.
What does phasing mean?
A phasing is like back in the day when you used to leave your balls out in the cold.
Right.
They change color. They come out and there'd be white phasing in them. And sometimes when balls cure, they cure. You have a little bit of they cure at different temperatures. So the phasing in them cures a little bit different. And some of the balls that had phasing on them back in the day rolled unbelievable. So we've come up with a way to try to incorporate that into the bowling ball. And so with this new cover stock, this new material, and this really new weight block design, it's exciting times.
When are they due out?
They've actually already landed here in Boltec. I think Boltec has them, or if they don't have them, they will have them quite soon. And then the Fight is a unique design. It's one of our most famous cover, or not famous, but successful covers was R2S, and it was on our high roads and on balls, our tournament balls that were really, really successful for quite a long time. And we've gone to R4S now and put it on a new core design with a new cover, new numbers. The Fight has 260 RG, which is really long. You know, in theory, it's supposed to be really long and snappy, but the cover is pretty aggressive. So the RG in the ball is 044, which tells you how much it's going to flare. You know, it gives you the amount of flare potential it's going to have, which gives you the amount of hook a ball is going to have.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to be a really popular ball in tournament play.
Excellent.
You use the phase. I use the phase a little bit here, and I would anticipate the phase will probably come out at some point in time during the tournament.
Oh, cool. Any more questions for Tim? Keep them coming in.
Mark Sutton, if it's a baggy score, I'm interested. If it's anything else,
Villa nil,
not interested.
Leicester 1, Midlands down.
Not interested. Mark Sutton. Do you hear me, Mark Sutton?
And how about your own performance this week?
You know, rusty, and I kind of knew it, rusty going in. But, you know, the reason why I don't play anymore, A, is I want to move forward in the industry, and B, my body, you know, after all the surgeries I've had, doesn't hold up as good.
Your mind can still do it, but your body
can't.
can't.
Yeah, my mind's still there, and, you know, my knee is bad. I've had 2 surgeries there. My shoulder goes in and out. It's not
You're falling apart, aren't you?
I've had 17 injections in my shoulder.
Ouch.
No, 19 in my shoulder and like 11 in my knee. So, pretty much of a struggle physically. Back's been bad a little bit, but you know, I literally went from November 12th to December 30th and didn't put my hand in a bowling ball.
Yeah.
You know, and with our new releases coming out and a very pivotal time with our products, with the majors coming up, I want to know what the bowling balls are doing. So I want to throw shots and see the balls roll. So I've been able to, you know, get some games in. I actually was okay in Finland. I wasn't sharp enough. My back was bad, so I couldn't get the leverage I wanted. And I didn't bowl great here, but I bowled good enough to make the finals. And let's see what happens here moving forward.
We had a big discussion yesterday about bowling and the scores going crazy. And what's your feeling on the way the game's changed in the last 20 years and the easiness of...
It's a little bit of both. I mean, people don't want to work for things anymore. That's part of the problem. So, you know, they want things to come easy for them.
But as a company, you've got to give the people what they want.
Yeah, there's a whole generation that's literally the whole generation that is growing up on easy lane conditions. And unfortunately, that's bad. You know, because now, you know, the barometer, you don't know where the barometer is, and it makes it quite difficult. So, I don't know. It's a catch-22 in my book.
Overall, the balls that you bowled over the years, which was the best storm ball ever made?
Well, I've got a couple of them. The Firestorm was something special. The the Purple Lightning Storm was special. I mean, really special. But the 2 that I made a lot of money with, Trauma ER and X Factor Deuce. And in today's game, you know, it's hard to put down the high road. It's been in our catalog for 7 years.
Which is quite long for a bowling ball.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. No company has one in the history of their company in catalog for 7 straight years and still selling. So it tells you the staying power of the high road. And then you have, you know, this IQ Tour has been a phenomenal ball for us. It's been in there for 4 years now, 3 or 4 years.
And how has the new balls been doing? The lock and the crux.
And the lock and the crux have been phenomenal over the course of our bigger balls. You know, when we won our Premier Line balls. You know, when you're looking for the most hook potential and your biggest core numbers and your biggest, you know, your lower RG and your stronger reaction balls, they've been really, really successful.
It's been quite tough to catch storm over the last few years, though, because I mean it comes down to results at the end of the day, and you're actually winning.
We're doing well, but
you
know, when you win, you also got to stay humble, and you also got to stay hungry.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt the other companies are making their push. You know, Motive, Ebonite, and Brunswick are all making their pushes, and we've
had a better year this year, really, didn't it?
Brunswick's had a phenomenal year, and so is Motive, and so is Ebonite. You know, those other companies aren't resting on their laurels. They're trying just as hard.
You don't want it too easy. You want some competition, don't you?
So we got to continue. You know, competition is good for everybody. It breeds competitiveness. It breeds work ethic. It breeds a lot of things, but you find out who you are when the chips are down, not when they're flowing in. Yeah. You know what I mean?
What did you used to throw before Storm arrived? Before you know?
Actually, last couple balls I threw a Brunswick ball and I threw a Columbia ball. Jade Piranha and Blue Piranha C. I threw a ball called the T2. So I really didn't throw much of those because I had a black UDOT when I was in college that I used. And I didn't, until the reactive balls came out. I was still in college. So.
Tropical Storm still in my bag, Tim, says Sean Robinson.
Yeah, the Tropical Storm was a good one. It was a good one, Sean.
Where did bowling start for you?
Oh, I started when I was 4 years old, and my family, my mother and father were great bowlers and great athletes, and I really kind of had no option other than I was always going to be in the bowling way anyway. So.
Did you excel at any other sports?
I was baseball was my best. Baseball and football, American football. So, I was pretty good. I was pretty good at just about everything. I was a well-rounded athlete. I got a lot of skills from my grandfather on my mom's side, and also my dad was a heck of an athlete. My mother was a great athlete. So a little bit in my genes, and I always wanted to.
Did you always want to be a bowler then?
No.
Or did you have other jobs before being a bowler?
No. I never knew. You never knew. I mean.
You still don't know.
When I was in high school, I said, yeah, someday I'm going to be a champion bowler. But then as you get older, you say, is this what you want to do? And started bowling some tournaments and having some success, and had some good success. But, I had a really good high school experience in sports, really good college experience in sports. I played for Joe Paterno and Penn State University for football, one of the greatest universities, institutions in the world. Graduated my degree, so I've got a degree from one of the best universities in our country.
A degree in?
Bachelor of Science in Health Policy Administration.
All right.
and Human Development Family Studies. So, I've had a great experience in that regard.
So the human development parts come in, really, because you are a people person.
Yeah, I've always been a people person. I like to talk to people. I'm just a people guy. I'm an outgoing guy, and that's just how it is. Dad was kind of like that, and, yeah. Pretty cool.
Excellent.
Pretty cool.
Anybody impressed you here this week that you hadn't seen before?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you the kid that impressed me that I've seen him. I saw him, and I'm not saying this because he's number one, but the Stamp, Tim Stamp.
Yeah.
Last year at this time, myself and Martin Larson, we did a little camp down in Denmark. And Aalborg. We went to Aalborg. And I saw this kid for the first time. Now I know his brother Mick, and his brother Mick is a phenomenal bowler.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Been on the Dutch team the Danish team for quite some time, and just a phenomenal talent. And here I see this young kid. Wow, this kid throws great. Big, tall kid, fearless, outgoing.
Yeah.
More outgoing than Mick. Yeah. More fire than Mick.
He's only 17 now.
And he impressed the heck out of me then, and he's been equally impressive here.
Any words of advice for the young players out there? They want to become, say, a Storm staff player or any other brand staff player. What do you need to get to before brands are going to be interested in you?
I think
is it results? Is it selling the brand?
I think in the end of the day, you got to have results. That's what gets you noticed on the lanes. I think you got to be humble and you got to hold yourself as a professional and try to carry yourself on what would be the best way I could possibly represent a company. What would that company think of looking at me at? Would they look at me as a bowler, or would they just look at me as, how do I handle myself in public? How do I treat people? A little bit of everything. Yeah. It's a combination. It's not just bowling anymore.
Well, it's changed a lot now with the social media aspect of it as well, hasn't it?
Social media is a big thing. It's not just throwing a bowling ball anymore. It's a combination of so many different things, and you got to be able to handle all those things. Everybody thinks a bowling ball is made for free. It just comes off. Can I get a free ball? Can I get a ball? Can I get a ball? Every ball that comes out of that plant costs money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. I won't tell the public how much it costs, but it costs a fair amount of money with research, R&D, and materials. And if people knew how many people actually touched a bowling ball, they'd be. They couldn't.
Yeah.
And everybody wants a free ball. Well, you know what? It's not a what have you done for me lately society, but everybody shouldn't get the free ball. There's a reason. There is a reason certain people get balls over other people, and define that reason, figure it out,
It's on a case-by-case basis then, effectively.
Yeah, I think so. I actually have a lot to say in it now, trying to get people on staff, because I get to see people in the tournaments. I get to see how they react in the bowling center with people, how they bowl. Obviously, bowling's important. You know.
Well, I'm going to push for Kira Ray. I think you should be sponsoring her as a brand.
Yeah, she's a nice little bowler.
She's about ready. She'd be worth 6 or 8 balls for the year, and see how it goes.
She's a nice little bowler, but you know, to play devil's advocate, what could she do for our company?
Yeah, true enough.
You know, that's what you have to ask yourself. And the company who's sitting at home and got all these players on staff, and they make these balls, they're saying, well, where's our benefits? You know, it's like no other company. You know, you got to. In the end of the day, the company has to stay open to make money.
Yeah.
But everybody just can't get a free ride, and I think that's been one of the most frustrating things over years. Is everybody wants free balls, free this, free that, and you know, everybody's not deserving of it. So just the reality.
No, that's a good answer, Tim. I like that. If you've got any questions for Tim though while he's here, it's a great pleasure to have Tim on the stream. I'm sure he'll be back at some point if he's winning the tournament.
Yeah, I'd love to come back for you guys. I'll sit back here for a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to go get ready, because I got a bowl here soon. But I'll sit here a little bit and see if you've got any questions.
What sort of pre-planning do you go into a block or a squad? Do you
it's a lot different now than it used to be. I got to put skin patch on. I got to put a knee brace on. I got to put stick on my arm. I got to put the stuff on my back. It's a lot different now. You know, the days of just shooing up and putting my shoes on and bowling, the days are done. So the preparation is a little bit longer than most. I can't just show up 5 minutes before I bowl and bowl anymore, which is unfortunate. So used to be able to do that back in the day.
Of all the players that you played, which player did you beat and it meant a lot to you at the time? Any age, you know, young or old? Was there a one player that was maybe a bogey player you never beat and then you did, or?
I don't know. I mean, I've had so many battles. I've had battles with Norm Duke. We've had some great battles at the Masters. I've had battles with Parker Bone. I've had battles with Torrey Torgerson when he was in Deadstroke. You know, we had some great battles over the years. You know, these are all world class and the best of the best of the best. You know, I've bowled Pete a couple of times. So, you know, I wouldn't say there's one person that stands out. You know, I mean, battled Mika, had a losing streak against Mika. So right now I've got a winning streak against him because I beat him the last time I bowled him. So that's cool. And the Weber Cup was always very special to me. So, you know, I got a chance to bowl against those guys there as well. So, I mean, it's a combination of both.
We do want to see you back at the. Well, I mean,
I'd love to be back at the
We're lucky enough to see you at the Weber Cup because you come each year now anyway.
Yeah, the last 2 years I've been fortunate enough to come there thanks to Wes Pye and Alex Hamilton from Power Play Pro Shop. And I've got some great friends here in the UK that I've been able to come over and send. You know, Andy Penny down there, in Dunstable has been great. So with all the support from the local bowlers here, the local pro shops here, I've been able to come over and do some work, do some good days, and spend some time with the customers, and get on site and try to help them, educate them with some products, and get them some bowling balls.
If you were picking the American team for the Weber Cup next year, who would you pick?
Based
on the fact that they didn't bowl really well last year. You see, here's
the thing with the Weber Cup. It's not always getting the best players that are bowling the best. It's about getting the right guys that get together and that want to win and that want to, get the right personalities that want to have fire and dig their spikes in.
I was pretty shocked by this year.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they didn't do that last year. I just think the wheels came off early and they can never get going. But they didn't really. Out of those 4 guys, there's not really a personality guy that gets in their face or that can rile things up a little bit. So I think you need that. I actually do. I think you need that. And we've lost 4 of the last 6, I believe.
Yeah.
So
and to be fair though, the European team have
European
really
teams
improved
are strong
over the last few years.
Well, they're just good bowlers.
They're untouchable now
in terms
of dropping any of them.
They bowl together. Everybody knows each other.
Yeah.
They bowl together.
Room together.
Oscar came in this year. They traveled together.
Brought the families. Yeah.
The United States team is totally different. It doesn't do that. So it's a big, big difference. So, I mean, that'd be something I'd have to look at. And, maybe I'll be a non-playing captain this year and part of the process.
I think that's a good idea. I think,
or maybe I'll be a player.
For a couple of years, a non-playing captain's a good idea.
I can tell you right now I'm not one of the best bowlers in our country. I know that. But when it comes to the Weber Cup, I know I'm one of the best on that lane.
Yeah.
My record has been pretty good over the years.
You don't not try, I'll give you that.
And not saying that I'm the right guy to bowl, but I feel like you got to send a message, and I think there's going to be some changes this year, no doubt. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
think Ronnie Russell's deserved a shot at some point, and
You
probably Ryan Seminelli now. And
you don't know. I mean, you don't know. You got to remember. You got to get the right guys. You got to get guys right for TV. You got to get guys right for that event. Is more than just bowling.
Yeah.
Okay, you got to get guys.
It is a showcase of what's around there, isn't
and
it?
you're trying to beat the Europeans in their backyard with people that are comfortable in that's an uncomfortable environment. People laugh. They say, "Oh yeah, I should be on the Weber Cup." I said, "You guys have no idea what it's like. None. I know. I started the event, and for 10 years I was the captain. I know exactly what it's like. I know what it's like to be on the line. I know what it's like to be on the winning side. I know what it's like to be on the losing side. I'm one of the few captains that has a winning record.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like, and it's not an easy environment to bowl in. So everybody thinks, and rightfully so, when they bowl well, that they're deserving of it, and they are. They probably are. But that Weber Cup is a different animal.
Would you do anything to the format, the way it's run?
Nah,
would you go back to 5
I love the
players,
5.
or?
Love the 5. I think it was better. I just think the Baker was better with the 5. I love the fact that the 5 guys was just team environment was better. Just love the 5. I just think the 5. I think that event is made for 5.
Yeah.
You still have the doubles, still have the singles.
We get calls all the time for maybe going back to 5 and adding a female to the team.
No
or?
female. No.
No.
Is there a female in the Ryder Cup of golf?
True enough. Yeah.
Okay. No females. Sorry, but it's not. This is there's no disrespect to the females. The females have the Solheim Cup. There's a reason. The females need their own stage. They should have their own stage. They deserve their own stage. They shouldn't have to be trumped in with and just throw a token one female in to make it seem like it's one female. It's not right.
Yeah.
It's not right for the females. It's not right for the event. So we tried it the first year, and I don't think it was okay. But I love watching female bowling. I think the women
they're
are
good enough to do it themselves.
I think they're better tacticians. I think they repeat. They're just they're fundamentally more sound. I love it. So for me,
Craig Fass has. We kind of touched on
we've got a couple questions here.
What would
Fred asked me where I'm going to be in 10 to 20 years.
All right, yeah.
Well, I'm working in the industry, Fred. I mean, that's why I'm moving forward and I slow my bowling down. I'll still bowl a little bit here and there, but I'm not going to bowl full time for sure. So, I mean, I don't know if that helps or not, but.
And Craigie Fass says, great to have you as a Storm Demo Day with Barry Brown here.
I guess I'd love to be here in Ireland, guys. We'd love to. Will we see if we can work that out moving forward? We get enough interest. It's all contingent on the customers. You guys got to show up. So.
What would be your dream team pick for the USA Weber Cup?
Dream team pick for the USA for the Weber Cup.
What would be the team that if you picked?
If I was bowling,
the Europeans would not beat it.
If I was bowling.
Well, stick yourself in it, yeah.
Okay, so I'm bowling the event. The 4 guys of my dream team that I would want to bowl with. Boy, that's a tough question. Do they have to be? Do they all have to be American?
Yeah, definitely.
4 guys that I would have loved to bowl with: Mark Roth in his heyday.
Yeah.
Pete Weber. His heyday. Dick Weber. And Mike Albee.
Mike Albee.
Yeah. It was just off the top of my head. That's just off the cuff. Now I can pick 7 or 8 teams that I'd love to bowl with. And I can go a different route and go into
Well, that's the thing about the American talent. There is a big pool of players.
I could go into my, then my own, around my own time. And I got lucky. I picked the team that I wanted to bowl with. That I thought was the best, which was Jason Couch, Pete Weber, Tommy Jones and Chris Barnes. That was the dream team for us.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of success, and that team was really successful, and I enjoyed bowling with that team, and I bowl with them today.
Pete had to bowl his dad's event at some point.
Yeah, I mean,
I was amazed it went so many years without him playing it.
Well, there was a reason behind it. That's why there's reasons behind it, and it had to do with trying to win the USBC Masters and the scheduling, and Pete's Pete, and Pete deserves every accolade he gets. I think he's the greatest to ever throw a bowling ball. So.
Who did you idolize growing up?
Loved Pete. I loved watching Pete, and that's why to be a friend of him now is pretty cool. I mean, I grew up watching him bowl on TV. Grew up watching Mark Roth bowl on TV. Marshall Holman. Those guys were on TV all the time. When I was 13, 14, 12, 13, 14. But the guy I looked up to the most is my brother, because I bowled. He was my benchmark, when I was bowling. So he was always. So it was a guy that I knew if I beat my brother, I did something special, because he was always at the top. So that's how I always looked at it. So I tried to beat my brother.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, some great questions. And
Yeah, gets a few more questions in before we lose Tim. He's going to go get ready soon. What happened to Mike Mullen?
nothing. Just doesn't bowl. Doesn't bowl anymore for a living anymore. Hasn't bowled for a living for a while. Mike still bowls some local tournaments. Just doesn't bowl.
Which are the best players you saw that don't bowl anymore, for whatever reason, that could have done a lot more than they maybe did? Or
Oh, there's a lot. There's a long list there. The guys that could, there's a long list. I'll tell you one right now. A guy right here, Rob Thirlby, who's in a tournament. He's a guy right now that I talked to. I think he could have had a great career bowling. But everybody's got their own initiatives and own goals and own things, and that's not to take anything away from Rob. Rob's a phenomenal bowler. I just think he's an incredible talent that could have had a lot of success if he bowled in the last 10 or 15 years.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just to make that's one example of many.
Took all the bowled this week. This says Craig Grant. Bowled this week in Dublin. Took all the advice from Tim Mack gave me last year at the Airport Bowl. I've really changed my game. Looking forward to next year's Irish Open.
Oh, that's fantastic, Craig. Thanks for that. Hopefully you can keep moving forward and keep getting better. As things progress. You want to make progressions. Sometimes you got to take a couple steps back before you go forward. But in the end of the day, you just want to. This game it's not a perfect game, and you've got to try to realize that you got to take the good with the bad and stay with it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I met you, Tim, was at the Scott Banks tournament back in 2001 when you came over for the Skins.
Yeah, that was a great time. What a phenomenal time that was. I have that tape still.
I've never actually seen it. Scott was a good friend of mine.
Phenomenal event. I knew it was for a good cause.
I was still mourning at the time, so I couldn't actually watch it at the time, but I've never seen it since.
Amazing event, and it was for a great cause. And we did well. We raised some money, and I know Scott was a heck of a bowler, and for the tragic situation that happened to him, I was privileged to be part of that event.
And I heard a rumor that you donated money back as well.
I did.
For you won.
I did. Yep.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, I did. Just thought it was the right thing to do. Just felt like, I'm there on behalf of the event and do the right thing and give some money back, and maybe they could fight the cause and help some other people out moving forward.
As far as I'm concerned, Tim, you'll go to heaven for that alone.
I appreciate that. He was
a good friend with Scott, so
yeah,
whatever you did for him was
phenomenal chap,
was for all
from
of
what
us.
I hear. And that's these countries over here, England and Ireland, they mean a great deal to me. I have a heritage in both countries.
And the British Open as well.
And the British Open, I'm fortunate enough to win that. And the London International and World Tenpin Masters, and I've been fortunate enough to win all the big ones in England. So
you've been adopted, haven't you, by England? All said and done. I think every country adopts you, but we claim you now and again.
Yeah, I love England, obviously, and I think maybe that's why the reception that I get when I go to the Weber Cup is I love them maybe more than they love me, I think, and I appreciate everything they've given me and brought to me in my career, and it means a great deal to me.
Well, you've earned that, Tim.
Oh, much appreciated. I just think I just have the utmost respect for England and all the UK, Scotland, all of them, Wales, all those countries. I come up to Northern Ireland. I haven't seen a guy, and I was in Northern Ireland, 12 years ago, and now here, to be back at the Irish Open is special for me. Special. I'm really enjoying this week, and if I bowl good, great. If I don't, it's okay.
You still have a good time.
It's okay. I'm here. I've seen a lot of familiar faces that I haven't seen in a while, and I'm going to give it my best, and let's see what happens. What do we got here?
Bernie,
what
Tim,
am I doing in my late
years?
I'm coaching, teaching, working on trying to make Storm a bigger and better engine than it is. So I'm not done competing. So I'll do a little bit of bowling. I'll do a little bit of everything. So.
Will you go on the PBA 50 eventually?
That's a good question. I mean, I got 6 years to go. So, if my body can hang in there.
Some of them guys will.
I'm going to bowl the USBC Masters. I'm going to bowl a couple of the big ones coming up.
They'll whoop your ass. Some of them older guys.
Yeah, they're those guys aren't. They're the Tom Bakers who's 60 and Pete's 54 and Parker's 53 and Parker's won 2 titles on the Young Man's Tour. Amuletto. As we have an event going on in Japan right now.
Yeah, second behind Dom.
Amuletto made the stepladder. England's own Dom Barrett is leading.
Yeah.
$40,000 for first.
Wow.
It's a big prize over there.
Yeah.
So Dom Barrett's got another chance to put another major title in his pocket, which is really cool to see. So
I don't think we've seen the best of Dom yet. I said it earlier in one
just
of the
coming.
streams.
I think we're scratching the surface. I mean, he's been awful good for quite some time. It depends how life changes with him and Cassie. You know,
children, and
you know, life throws you a lot of curveballs, a lot of you know, and it's just a question of how everything works out. You got to see, you know, the ebb and flows of what happens. Can I hope I can come back next year? Yeah, Craig, me too, buddy. Hope I can come back next year. And Storm has a 3-year affiliation with this event. So,
all right. So
if you guys want me back, if you guys want me back, send your emails into Sean Kennedy here at the Leisureplex and Wes Pye, and myself and Wes we'd love to come back.
Yeah, put an email in. I'd like to play the Irish Open, but I am not coming unless Tim Mack is there.
Yeah, but I'd love to be back, and until then, I'm going to enjoy the rest of today and the rest of this weekend. So thanks for having me in here, and I'm going to
thank you, Tim.
Let you go and
get yourself off and get some.
Let's see these scores here. Looks like I'm going to need some scores. So I'm going to go have to stretch this whole body out and make sure we're ready to go here. Hopefully, I'll get on the cameras here later for some of the games that I'm bowling.
Excellent. Well,
thanks to everybody else,
Tim, and we'll see you again.
Thanks,
soon,
Tommy. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. Thanks, mate.
What's happening on the lanes, folks? Been chatting away with Tim for a while, and we don't actually know. Well, we don't know, but Dom, you're supposed to be telling us. Daniel Balsam with a 226, I think. I'll have a rundown and I'll have a look at some of the sheets in a moment. I'm not even sure what game that was. Can you guys tell me? Is it game 2, 3? Just got carried away talking to Tim. How was that for an interview, folks? Did we get what we wanted? Just makes it so easy, doesn't it? Right, so bear with me a moment. I'm just going to have a quick run down to the lanes and have a look at some of the scores, see if I can pick up an idea of who's actually leading this block, because I'm going to need to know for the virtual studio, which is full of people at the moment. Should we show you? We've got some randoms in the virtual studio. Don't even know they're on TV. There you go. Cheers, Craig. Thanks, mate. So give me a few moments. I'll be back shortly with an idea of who's doing what. So I'm halfway around them at the moment, and it looks like Jamie Elliott, 230 odd, 240 odd. Alan McDonnell, about the same, a couple of 230 and a 240. They seem to be the pick of the players I've seen so far. Another couple of minutes, I'll have a look at some more, but it looks like Alan McDonnell and Jamie Elliott making the run in this block. Bernie Bowling, nice talk, impressive, thank you. Tim makes it easy. I mean, I know a little bit about Tim, but you can bounce off what he did most of the talking there. I'm just, while he's talking, thinking about what I'm going to ask him next. And the key is, I think, with that, just try and ask the right questions. But give us another couple of minutes. I'll find out the rest of the scores and see if anybody's done anything. We've got 2 games in, another 2 to go. Roxy says, how many people advanced to final step 2? I'll tell you now. What happens on the bear right now? 32 rings a bell. Yeah, 72 players will play 4 games, starting from scratch. 1 to 31 qualified for final step 2, so as it 31 go through to be joined by the other seeded players. So bear with me a moment, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, quick look down the lanes. It looked like Daniel Balsam was the only other one that seemed to have a good run of 230, 240s up there. There's still time with 2 games to go to see a couple of 270s or even a 300. Could push some of these players into the final 32 or 31 or whatever it is. Thanks for everyone that's joined us again. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. My name's Dom Gall from TalkTenPin.net. And a big thank you to our sponsors this week, to Storm the Bowlers Company for the main association sponsorship that Tim revealed will be continuing next year and the year after. Thanks also to Mayo at Home, TGI Fridays, Crumlin Print, Eco Hygiene, Rocks Jewelers, Cool Tech Refrigeration, Dublin Food Sales, Frylight, Glenealy Foods, Mayo and Starbucks. Thank you for your kind support this year and in previous years. And Let's see who else we could pull in for a little chat before the end of this block. Just keep me going, keeping me awake actually. It's been a long day already. As you can imagine, we've done a fair bit of talking today, so it's nice to kind of listen to other people and ask a few questions and rest the voice a little bit. The bowler on 11 and 12 has funky trousers, says Steph Hale. Neil Dent, Mr. Goal, please can you post the tourney website here? Give it a go, Neil. Put the link up if you can, but if you're gonna put www dot or anything, just space it out. W space W, because it sometimes doesn't like links. But I will say for the Malta Open, if you visit EdenSuperBowl.com, Eden, E-D-E-N, Superbowl.com, and check out the details for the Malta Open, the 25th Malta Open, which will be held in June this year. Is it? Yeah. Is it not doing? We'll do the audio. I have actually got a video for the Malta Open, so I can do a little promo for that for you. Let me find it. Here we go. So we'll give you a quick promo of the Malta Open. Please visit EdenSuperBowl.com. So there you go, the 25th Malta Open, being held in June this year. Get yourself off to EdenSuperBowl.com for all the details. We've been talking about the Malta Open quite a bit. It's the next one that we'll be doing the live streaming for. Or the next one I'll be doing the live streaming for. Hopefully, if I get me invite, Neil. I kind of assume I'm coming, but it's how rude of me. But yeah, if you want a holiday this year, you want to take the kids for a bit of a holiday and you want to do a bit of bowling, it's well worth that. If you just want to get some European experience but you're a little bit too scared to play an EBT, Malta is the event for you. Very competitive, but bowled in a friendly environment. So anyone that's just joined us, you're watching the 28th Irish Open live from the Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Stillorgan, Dublin, Ireland. We are into final round one, positions 37 to 72, a two-part final step. The next step we'll see 1 to 36 on the lanes and a host of, well, not 1 to 36, but a host of players that were higher up the pecking order. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage so far. It's getting slightly better, if I don't say so myself. Okay, I'm not Lucas Wiseman. Some would say good, some would say bad. But we do try to keep things as interesting as possible and normal. Or abnormal sometimes. We're not frightened to play around with a few ideas. We've had the roaming cam this week. Obviously you've seen a little bit of the virtual studio, which I think is pretty cool. hoping that that's the one that's going to kind of impress some of the potential sponsors to invest in tournaments. If the live streaming can make money for the tournament, then that's got to be a good thing. Wilson says, I should probably go to Malta. Wilson, you'd absolutely love it. You should get the boy out of school, take him. Have a bit of a holiday with him. I'm taking mine this year, hopefully. The wife and the little one are going to come along. We're just looking at the best way to do it. I'm going to be working for like 4 days, so Neil was kind of thinking about maybe I fly out as normal, and then they're going to fly out like a few days later, and I'll stay a few days more, and that way I can spend a bit more time with them. I don't really want to be stuck in the bowl for 4 days when I should be going out with them a little bit. So we're going to try and work it so I can do both. Neil Dent says, do it to Wilson. Massive buzz. Best tournament director I've ever met. No, to be fair though, he's not lying there. You get 2 Neils for the price of 1. Neil Webb and Neil Dent. Yeah, Wilson saying, obviously no dress code for this tournament. That white shirt is a disgrace. What's wrong with Popeye? Making a new film of Popeye. Yeah, come on, Olive. Who is it? Patrick Micker, front 9. Front 9 down there. So I'll wait for the first shot to go down, and then I might have to get the roaming cam and see if we can pick that up for you. I hope the roaming cam's working now. Bear with me a moment. Try and get this set up. Front 9. Is he going on for? He's going on for 10 now. Ten. Yep. Cheers, fella. No, I don't need to rush down now. He's come up high. Left 3 in the corner, which is just as well though, because the mobile cam didn't want to work then. He was right down the bottom end of the house. You wouldn't really seen much of it. But he's, I think he's finished with 277, is it? 287. Yeah, Neil Dent, first game Mika ever bowled in the Malta Open was a 300. He went on to win it that year. Another player that's done that this year here is the South African Jason. Let's get it right again. Bezuijdent. Bezuijdent. They keep telling me how to say it and I keep getting it wrong. I go nuts when people call me Dominic Gale and Dominic Gal. It's goal, G-A-L-L, like ball, B-A-L-L. So coming up to the end of the third game, you featured pair of Ashley Gill, Jos Bakker, Craig Barrett and Richard Stevens. Not really anything to report on. Ashley Gill seems to be the pick home on 110 in the 6th frame. A nice sizable crowd at the back of the lanes now watching the block. And do you know what? Somebody brought me a pair of binoculars in. They'd been watching the stream and they heard that I said, oh, I wish we had binoculars so that I could look at the lanes at the bottom. And what does some kind guy do? Brings me a pair of binoculars in. Don't get to keep them like, but cool all the same. Yeah, I can see a little bit better. It's not super amazing. Oh, it's making me dizzy looking through them. Fred Miller said, Neil, are you able to sort an interface for Dom to do on-screen scores? Don't worry about Malta. Scores are not a problem in Malta. We get them super quick. We get them after each game. So you don't need to worry about scores in Malta. But Ireland, we had Sean Kennedy on the stream, and I've told him to go have a look at the BestX system because I think they are looking at possible upgrades in here. And I mean, you probably heard what I said to him. Have a look at the BestX system and the games that you can use. It'd be fantastic for the tournament, but that's not why they would get it in the first place. It would be for the daytime business, but I don't know if any of you guys have seen that BestX system. It's, for want of a better word, buzzing. It makes Brunswick's look like a ZX Spectrum, a ZX81 even. Remember that computer, ZX81, 1K of memory or something like that. But that's what the sync looks like to me anyway, compared to the BestX system. But that's just my opinion. Other people may have different ones, but from what I've seen, it's not even in the same league. Yeah, Malta's not much of a problem for scores though. They don't have live scoring, but they are very efficient and very quick on the scores. So I have them literally a couple of minutes after, not even a couple of minutes sometimes, after the last ball's bowled on a game. And we get them every game. So it's the only thing I'm missing here at the moment. If we had that, at least that here, then it would make this tournament a lot better from the streaming point of view and being able to get scores. Ooh, Mark Sutton says, I can do you a great Steltronic Focus deal, Neil. Send me some details on the Steltronic Focus, Mark, I'll have a look at it. I like to be kept abreast of the latest scoring systems just to see how they compare to each other. I know the Hollywood Bowling Chain have kind of made their own now. It's just basic grids really. So coming up to the, oh stop yawning dog, coming up to the end of game 3. When we're about, I don't know, a few frames into game 4, I'll go down the lanes again and get a rough idea of who's going to win it. I can't believe that. harmonizer, Dave Harmon, says he's got a bit of time off because the little one's going to a concert either tonight or tomorrow. And tonight, I think. So he's going to go to the cinema. He says, "Oh, I might go see that Star Wars." We've got like a 3-screen cinema here in Stillorgan. It's not even playing yet. The biggest film of the last 15 years, money-wise, and it's not even playing in the hotel, in the cinema. The Reverence and Danish Girl and something else, he said. What about your Steltronic Focus, Mark? Does it do anything nice? Right, the interview with South African Jason Bezuidenhout is up online now. For those of you that might know him, he looks a bit familiar. He looks a little bit like a younger John Egan. $162 for Ashley Gill on the featured pair. $178 for Richard Stevens. $185 for Jos Bakker if he hits this spare. Craig Barrett looks like he's the pick of the players on there. 84 in the 5th, but he's running 5 strikes in a row. Mark Secker, Dom, great coverage of the tourney and missing not coming over to Ireland, but already booked for my first trip to Malta, so see you in June. Nice one, Secker bag. Good, it'll be good to see you in Malta. Yeah, if you guys haven't looked at that tournament yet, go have a look. Bowling aside, you can forget the bowling, just go to Malta full stop. It's a nice little place to go. Good food, good people, nice weather, Blue Lagoon. What more do you want? A little bit of history if you're into that. Not a little bit of history, quite a lot of history. All of you come over this year, come on. Let's make the 25th the biggest Malta Open ever. And Jason Belmonte, let's have you back. Grant Duggan on a run of strikes there, they're doing all right. 148 in the 7th with a double working now. And Craig Barrett finishes with 223. Mark Secker then, we just need to get Wilson to go then. Webby, Carnage and Castro. It's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Yeah, don't think about it, Graham, just do it. You've earned yourself a holiday this year, I'm sure. If you can, take the little one there and it's kind of up to you. If you want to go for a drinking holiday, maybe don't take the little one. But if you want to have a holiday with him, take him. Yeah, the ball in Eden is literally, what, three minutes to the beach, Neil? Depends how fast you walk, but it's less than a couple of 100 metres down the road from the ball. The hotel is less than that. And the shopping is right next to the everything. And of course, Patcherville with all the bars, and Footloose, some of you may have heard of. That's an experience in itself. It's all right, well, the players are moving around, we have not really played an advert, so we're going to have a quick advert from our sponsors, and we'll be back very shortly.
Hi, Hank Boomershine here, inside the warehouse here. We're lucky to have Sean Maldonado here this week. National staffer, a lot of great successes this year. 4 straight regionals in a row. Man, that's unheard of. Both of us are big fans of Optimus Solids. I mean, Sean with his high rev rate, that ball coming 2,000 grit out of the factory. Sometimes a little too aggressive, but you said you had some good successes with it as shined up because of your rev rate. Tell us a little bit about what you see at Optimus Solids.
I shined it up a little bit, and for me, it clears the fronts a lot better and still stores a lot of energy, but because it's solid, it still controls the mid lane very well, so it's a very great ball for sure.
Yeah, the nice thing about that is a guy like me, I throw it kind of slow, put a little rev rate on it. I have a lot of success with Optimus Solid. I mean, me just a league bowler, I like it a lot because, once again, you said, it controls the mid lane. Me being left-handed, always a little more friction kind of down the lane, a little more, sometimes overhook. So I like to polish mine up to clear the front, and I like that mid lane read so that it kind of slows down in the right spot. But man, I'll tell you what, Tri-Sphere core weighs about 6 pounds. That core is pretty heavy and pretty big. I like the hitting power, and that's the one thing. People don't miss out on that big heavy core, gives us that hitting power. So kind of showing you guys today Optimus Solid, having a little bit of fun with it. Hope you enjoy the time we spent here today.
Appreciate all the support that y'all have given us and Storm has given me, and let's continue bowling up a storm.
Thanks again, guys.
And welcome back to the 28th Irish Open, live from the Leisureplex Bowling Centre in Dublin, Ireland. Into the last game now. 4 games. And then we'll have a break, and we've got another block, 4 games. Yeah, just had a look at that Steltronic myself. Can't say I was blown away by what I saw. It's marginally better than the Brunswick one. It's no best X though by the looks of it. That's just my opinion. But yeah, for the back end stuff, it's probably really good. That's what Brunswick told me about the sink though. They went, oh, but it's all about the back end. I'm like, well, I'm not interested in the back end. I am if I'm a manager, but if I want to go bowl a game, I want it to look awesome. But when I get a bit of time, I'll have a good look at it. But first impressions, I'm sticking with Cubica AMF one at the minute. But it is marginally better than the sink from Brunswick. That's the new scoring system from them. So Jeffrey Kingma, James Wigmore, Marcel van der Zee and Mitch Geordie Hop are your 4 players on the featured pair. Right, so bear with me a moment. I'm just going to have a quick run down the lanes and see who's the pick of the players after 3, who we've got to keep his eye open for the interview at the end. So yeah, looks like the top 2 players at the moment are the youngsters, Jamie Elliott and Elliot Crosby. Elliott's on 7:29 over 3, and Jamie Elliott is 7:23 over 3. Both of them are going strong. Jamie's shot the front 4 at the moment. Elliott's down the bottom end. I think he had a spare double or something like that. So he's saying, I can send you Cat's Dom, best I've seen Vegas, very popular at Expo, just my opinion, mate. Yeah, send me some details on stuff. I'm quite happy to look at all that stuff. I want to go to Expo at some point and see some of the technologies coming out. I've got a few ideas myself about what we should be doing with some of these technologies. I've already sent me ideas to Cubica and Brunswick and oh, Jeffrey Kingman from front 6 now on the featured pair. But it looks like it's going to be one of the kids that we're going to get in for the interview. Alan McDonald was doing okay up until about 90 over, I think he was over 3, 690-ish. And he's opened up on a 280 pace. Strike 8 spare Turkey. So Alan McDonald could be a surprise package for the squad win, the step win. Jamie Elliott's just left a 10 pin. Keep your comments and chat coming in. And tell me the truth out there, folks. How is this stream coming across? What sort of improvements can we make to it? Bearing in mind, I'm not the USBC. I haven't got a lot of money, so I can't go buying lots of cameras or anything, but are we on the right track with some of the things we're trying? Do a few things need tweaking? Are things not working? Let me know. You know me, I don't mind a little bit of criticism. Kind of used to it. David Keogh on a 280 pace as well. Strike 9 spare Turkey. Ronald Boomer, super job done. Great from Holland. Thanks, mate. I think we're on the right track with some of the things we're trying. I think obviously the big mistake or the big problem with this particular event is obviously we haven't got live scoring or access to scores quickly, which kind of slows us down a little bit. Makes us have to go around the problem a little bit. But I'd like to see a lot of the other streamers take on board some of the ideas that we're pushing at the moment, and I think the green screen's a winner. The virtual studio at the end is good. We're not fully utilising it yet. We should really be getting more people in. In fact, Barry, come and sit down. Come and sit down. Keep me sane for the next 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
Looks like Jamie Elliott and Elliot Crosby are the two in this one.
Okay.
Both on about 720, 723, 29 type thing. Alan McDonald's been doing okay, and he's on for a 280 now. Have you seen anything yourself that's impressed you up and down?
Yeah, look, it's that type of pattern, isn't it? It's you know, it's across the board. You see a lot of big gain, a lot of strikes, and then you see people struggling, lane transitions, catching people out. A lot of splits this week. I've seen a lot of 2.8s, 2.810s, 2.10s. But yeah, I think some of the bowlers I noticed during the week have actually got better today. The likes of Jamie, as you mentioned. He's really kind of got into the zone a little, and he's kind of got used to the pattern. He's a lot more relaxed today. Yeah. I noticed that on his first game, and he really does think about a shot. You can see his routine is exactly the same every shot, so it's nice. You know, you can see it. Yeah. I mean, Gavin started well. I seen Alan starting well. Alan McDonald. Gavin, he's having a problem all week. The second game, so he says it's himself. I just spoke to him there, but there's just a small little bit of lane transition that's catching guys out. And I think I changed ball 3 times in my set, and if you change balls and it's the wrong ball, like some bowlers have said this week, it can punish you, you know.
Yeah.
So ball choice is very important as well.
Do you think the lanes are going to play for your block roughly the same as these ones?
Yeah, normally the Saturday night they play very consistent. They now obviously from years gone by, the Saturday night has always been you've played say 3 games on one pair, so the scores will be really high. But it's just it'll be interesting to see with changing lanes. That's what This is my first year in the Irish Open that I've had to change lanes every game. So normally Saturday night for me is good, but this year
you don't know.
It's an unknown. It is an unknown actually. I'm a little bit worried, a bit nervous about it, but look at. You
may as well go home if you're not nervous.
Exactly. No, it is. It is. I've watched. I mean, I'm obviously surprised. I've seen Patrick Meeka struggle from time to time this week. I think he threw a gutter earlier on, so he just hasn't been himself this week. But look at. I mean, the lanes. You know, it's Bourbon Street, and
it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. There's a lot of guys. It's about just staying patient and staying relaxed out there. And some guys you can see are just really chasing it, looking for it. It's a type of centre you can shoot 280. And then you sort of say to yourself, whoa, you know, I've got to keep going. I've got to keep shooting 250s and 260s, which you can easily. But if you go chasing the 280, you'll have 180.
Yeah.
So although the lanes are quite easy and open, it's very easy to shoot a 160.
Neil Dent says, I recognise those dulcet tones.
Those what?
Those dulcet tones.
Oh, right, yeah. Neil, hey, Neil, yeah. He texted me then and said, asked me was I bowling this year. He said he checked the list, and I went, you better check again. So I hope you found it.
Yeah, I must admit, when I looked at the list and I saw your name, I thought, oh, nice, you're back.
Yeah, it was for me, it was just to come in, and I had 1350 in my head. I said it to the kids. I said, look, I want to get 1350. And I got 14, and I said, look, I'm happy with that. And they said, look, Dad, are you not going to go again and try and beat that? I said, no, because obviously come back from the injury. I'm not as physically fit as I was, say, last year, the year before. So, you know yourself, if you're not physically fit, it will affect you mentally. So,
yeah.
I've relied on my mental strength, I think, this time. But look, the arm is not 100%. But am I happy with 14? Absolutely. I mean, for me, it's a strategy. You got to keep making cuts. You know, I don't like being first place when it goes back to scratch, because then
pressure's on, isn't it?
But people expect you to shoot 1500 every time. Then.
Yeah.
So you know what? Where I'm
as long as you're there and thereabouts.
I'll be very happy if I make the next cut. And then if you say to me, you know, how do you hope you do tonight? I just hope I'm in tomorrow morning.
Have you got a game plan at the moment for where you're going to play on the lane?
Yeah, I have that. Yeah, I've got 3 bowling balls there. They do basically they do 3 different things for me. I know exactly what ball I'm going to start with, and then as I say, when I catch the transition, I'll know exactly where to move again, and so on. So for me, it's to start around the 3rd arrow and work my way left. You know, because I like to sometimes get like maybe a strong, solid, reactive ball and maybe take the lane out of play. But because I don't have the power in my arm, I'm going to just stay loose and stay left. Yeah. Make sure. But ball choice is so important.
Well, I've been watching all week, and I think softer is better here.
Yeah.
Down and in with a little bit of forward roll and just push the pins as opposed to try and...
Exactly. I've had to say to a few guys here, you know, don't kill the pins. Yeah, you don't need to kill the pins. Just let the ball do the work. But it really is a centre. You can have a fantastic, you know, tournament and do really well, and it gives you great confidence to go on for the rest of the year then, and on to Holland and on to other tournaments, Poland coming up. So this is a great little tournament to kind of get you kick-started in the year, you know. If you've gone to Finland or if you've been in Sweden, we know how difficult these places are, but you know, for the bowlers that you want to do well in Europe, there's a lot of tournaments that are there that you can score well in, and this tournament just gives you that little bit of confidence to go on and do well, you know. And
a former champion yourself now?
Yeah,
it meant a lot to you.
Yeah, unbelievable.
We've all seen the photos of you almost crying your eyes out down on your knees after you'd won it. And
I mean, Sarah showed me that photo a couple of weeks ago, and I went, wow, I hadn't seen that. And
you're a rough, tough guy with tears in your eyes. What up with you, you soft lad?
I know. As hard as people think I am, look, winning an Irish Open meant everything to me, and I think everybody knows that. And to be the first one to do it, and the first male, and just to have the title, it just takes so much weight off my shoulders. And
Monkey off your back, yeah.
Yeah, it really was. It was an amazing week, and as I said to you before, I could write a book on everything that happened that week, and all the things people said, and all the things people kind of copped at it. You know, I was even crying on Saturday, Friday night after shooting the 300, had a few beers, and I was walking home, and I was upset. And Barry says to me, Barry Brown said, you know, he was shocked that I was starting to cry. He found it weird, but it never left his head. He went, I think Barry's going to win this, and that's when he knew I was going to win it.
Yeah.
You know, and then my son said to Denise on the Wednesday night, I think Dad's going to win this week. There's just so many things and stories and things happened, and I was late for the match play, as everybody knows. I missed the practice. Thanks to Sean, obviously, Leisureplex let me play. About 3-4 years previous to that, I was late and I couldn't play. So, I mean, everything that could go wrong,
nearly went wrong.
Nearly went wrong. And to come through the way I did then in the last, to come through the match play was just incredible. But it was, yeah, look, it's something that nobody can take it away from me. It's always
not
there.
Something you get in every event. The passion from one particular person, that it means that much to them.
It's so much to me.
That they've won it.
So, and the family as well. I mean, they'd still talk about it. Denise said she couldn't breathe. She couldn't breathe watching me shoot 300 Friday. She couldn't breathe in the final. She really couldn't breathe all weekend. And like I'd say for myself, I'd say for about 4 weeks after it, I was exhausted. Like mentally, it destroyed me for 4 or 5 weeks. I couldn't
get over it.
I couldn't function. I lost a lot of energy. It just took so much. I gave it everything. When people say, you know, blood, sweat and tears, is exactly what I gave that week, was blood, sweat and tears.
Yeah,
it really was.
You said earlier that the guy in the final didn't really give you a match in the end. Was that kind of an anticlimax? How were you feeling during that last game when you're thinking, I'm going to win this, but
yeah,
I'm not really having to fight for it as much at the end?
You've
done all your hard work leading up to that.
I'll be honest. After the first game, I felt I have a chance. I've got one leg in the, you know, I've got one leg over the line here. And it was around the 6th frame of the second game when I knew I had it. And I started to get emotional. And I said to myself, stop.
Yeah.
Just stop. You know, cop yourself on. I even called myself a sissy. I said, stop it. Because I would have started crying. Stop now. Get your head. I turned into I suppose, that demon that's in me at times when I'm out there. That demon came back for those last 4 frames, and then I knew it.
Yeah.
But after 6 frames of the second game, I was nearly in tears because I knew I had it won. He couldn't hit the pocket. He was chopped the 2-4-5s. He missed a head pin. He was going Brooklyn. He just wasn't ready for it. Great experience for him. It was a wonderful tournament for him, and he done very well. And you know, I'm sure he kicked on from that. But I just knew I had it won by the sixth frame of the second game.
So I guess obviously it's number 6 on your list of most emotional things ever after your kids.
Yeah,
obviously. But
absolutely,
is that's the one and only thing you ever really wanted to win in your life?
That's it. I mean, to be honest, Dom, I was never interested in school. I grew up in the north side of Dublin, and a bowling centre opened, and I just fell in love with bowling. And I just didn't want to be in school. I'll be honest. I've learned more. I've got more educated from my working life and having to study for things like that.
Yeah, you're not the only one like that. There's a lot of people don't really know what they want when they're younger.
Just wanted to bowl. But I never understood about. I'm sorry I never went out and won it. Like I won the British Open under 23s back in '98. I remember Paul Moore, Stuart Williams, some great players back then, and to win that was an amazing achievement. I should have pushed on from there. I didn't. I just didn't know what was going on around the world of bowling. We didn't have, I suppose, wasn't really the internet, and I didn't know what EBT was.
It wasn't really until Paul Moore started doing what he was doing that anybody took notice of.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going
on
in
Europe.
I'm sorry. I was just sorry I didn't do it. But you know what? It wasn't meant for me, which is fine. But as I spoke to you yesterday, I think coaching is the path I'm going to go over the next 20, 30 years, and that's what I want to study, and I want to give something back, and I love coaching. I have a passion for it now, and I love it. I have a great eye for it, and I really do want to make a difference around the world with my coaching, and I feel I can.
I think the kids will do well because they'll be terrified here.
Yeah, they could. And you know, I've done the coaching course, and I seen command, and I went, "What does command mean?" And I think at the moment I could be classed as one of those coaches where no, look at there's passion in me, and that passion will always be there.
What you are as a person and a bowler won't be what you like as a coach.
No, I mean, you know, I'll always be honest with people, and I'll tell people how it is, and you know, I'll never tell people. I'll tell people, look, this is what you've got to do to get this level, and if you don't want to do it and you want to go around, I just say to people, you can go around the roundabout on it, or you can, you know, you can cut corners. You can, you know,
well, that's
take
the thing with coaching. If they're not going to listen, then
there's a lot of it.
You don't need to
give
them the time.
Yeah, and it's nice when people listen and make the changes and want to improve, and it's nice to see. There's some great bowlers, but there's a lot of bowlers that just rely on, say, you know, for years we had these big hook balls, and wow, look at the ball hooking, doesn't look right hooking in, and look at the smashing the pins, and there's a mentality there where people are just happy to look good, have a nice strong ball, get the ball to the pocket on an easy pattern and shoot maybe a 13, 15, go, yeah, I feel good. Yeah. But actually, you know, when you go to a Poland, a Holland, even a Romania, and the shot's a bit tighter and you can't swing the ball, doesn't come back from, you know, you push it out past 7, doesn't come back, and you go, whoa, what do I do now? And that's a problem.
Yeah.
That is a problem. So we've, you know, there's a lot of bowlers that just don't get it.
We're coaching nowadays, it's just building an arsenal of knowledge behind what you already know, innit?
Right. You know, so, yeah. I've just found out I'm actually not bowling until 10:15, so.
All right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Thanks for coming in, Barry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and get one of these guys up for the interview.
Anytime.
Go do your pre-production stuff, everything else. Get yourself ready.
And can I just thank you personally, obviously, for making this happen the last couple of years. Obviously, I wasn't here last year. Obviously, I want to thank you doing what you do. You do a great job. And you know, in fairness, there's not enough being said of what you do for the sport. So I'd like to thank you personally for what you do.
Appreciate that. Thanks,
okay, thanks a million. Cheers.
Cheers, man.
Elliot, did you finish with Denise? Did you beat Jamie? Did you beat? Oh, B-bar. Did you sign the wheel? For an interview?
So we think it's Elliot Crosby that's won the block. Patrick Mecca made a good finish in the end, and Jamie Elliott was up there, but Elliot Crosby's beaten Jamie Elliott. So yeah, Elliot Crosby looks like he's going to be the block winner there. And we're just waiting for him to come up for a quick interview. In the absence of all the scores, we've been getting it wrong. We've been picking squad winners randomly. If it looks like it's that person, we've just been interviewing that guy. And I missed Ricky Fraldi when we interviewed Kira Ray. But we'll muddle on through. Nice to have a little bit of Barry on. Just kind of giving people a little bit of practice before the finals. I've kind of got a rough idea who I want to do the commentary for the final. I'm looking at Barry and Tim Mack at the moment. I think that'll be a nice little dynamic for the final, depending on obviously who makes the final.
I can see how many people are watching.
We've got it somewhere.
Last night it was about 100. It was pretty good.
Yeah. You never get much up until the final.
I couldn't get this up on my phone though, you know, to comment.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it up on my phone.
So if you want to bear with us a moment, we'll go to a quick commercial break, and we should be back with Elliot Crosby very shortly.
We have a tremendous amount of talent assembled in one location, and we all work cohesively as a team to create and make the world's best bowling products.
Our job is to give you, the bowler, the best opportunity to knock down the most pins on every shot every time that you step onto the lanes.
You know, we're bowlers, we're the Bowlers Company. And a lot of us work together in many different capacities in order to bring you the finest equipment on the market today.
We put a lot of time and effort into development. We put a lot of time and effort into talking to pro shops, consumers, and professionals, amateurs alike, trying to figure out, hey, where do we need to fit something into the marketplace?
October 6th, we're releasing our greatest achievement to date, the Lock. It features a brand new cover stock.
And we developed the GI-15 cover stock for the new Lock. Game Improvement 2015. So it's designed for players who are looking to get a little bit more out of their bowling ball.
And we've wrapped that around a super strong motor, a weight block. We call that the Rad-X.
What we're looking at now is a brand new technology that's innovative in how we changed it, but it also goes back to historical success. And with innovation of the new Rad-X weight block, we've taken that sort of design, that success, and we've taken it to the next level. So when you're looking for something that really knows how to corner, something that can come around the spot, the Rad-X is going to be the weight block of choice.
Once again, we're very proud to announce the release of this Lock.
It is a very aggressive bowling ball. It gives you amazing hitting power, and also it gives you the most forgiveness at your break point. So you can miss a little left and a little right.
We are pioneers in reactive bowling ball technology. We've been making reactive bowling balls longer than anyone else. On October 6th, with the launch of the Lock, we will be raising our innovation to a whole new level. Storm is the innovation company. Storm is the Bowlers Company.
We have a tremendous amount of talent assembled in one location, and we all work cohesively as a team to create and make the world's best bowling products.
Our job is to give you, the bowler, the best opportunity to knock down the most pins on every shot, every time that you step onto the lanes.
You know, we're bowlers, we're the Bowlers Company. And a lot of us work together in many different capacities in order to bring you the finest equipment on the market today.
We put a lot of time and effort into development. We put a lot of time and effort into talking to pro shops, consumers, and professionals, amateurs alike, trying to figure out, hey, where do we need to fit something into the marketplace?
October 6th, we're releasing our greatest achievement to date, the Lock. It features a brand new cover stock.
And we developed the GI-15 cover stock for the new Lock. Game Improvement 2015. So it's designed for players who are looking to get a little bit more out of their bowling ball.
And we've wrapped that around a super strong motor, a weight block. We call that the Rad-X.
What we're looking at now is a brand new technology that's innovative in how we changed it, but it also goes back to historical success. And with innovation of the new Rad-X weight block, we've taken that sort of design, that success, and we've taken it to the next level. So when you're looking for something that really knows how to corner, something that can come around the spot, the Rad-X is going to be the weight block of choice.
Been playing for too long. So welcome to, they put music on now. I'll have to get the music off. Bear with us a minute, folks. I'm going to have to get the music off, otherwise it's going to spoil the interview. Sorry about Elliot, live TV and all that. Ah, there we go, I've got the music off now, so. Right, we're here with Elliot Crosby. We think the squad winner, the block winner, with 975. Did you find much of a transition across the lane in that? Only 4 games, wasn't it? So.
Yeah, quite a bit again, as I have the other 2 squads where I struggled a little bit after game 1. The fresh is pretty easy. But then after that, I struggled for carry because I just got too far left too quickly. So I tried to stay right with something a little weaker, and that worked game 2. And then in the field shot on that, I threw a haywire and come in left with that, and it looked a lot better and finished 240, 240 as well. So
before the haywire, what were you throwing?
IQ Tour Solid. So that worked really well. Just blended it out a little bit. It was a little bit smoother, more predictable than throwing something shiny.
Do you only throw Storm?
Yeah.
What is it about the brand that you like?
I just find all of their stuff. I've always used it for a number of years now, and it's a lot better than some of the other brands. But then also I find, because I've used it for so long, I know what reaction I'm going to get out of it, and I know where to go on a lane and what is going to happen with the ball, basically.
Yeah.
So
I feel like I've known you for a lot of years, but I don't know you, if you know what I mean, because I've seen the name since you were a kid. You've been going since, what, like 6, 7 year old?
Yeah, started when I was 5. So
you and Jake Daggett were kind of, you know,
always
bumping heads all the time in tournaments. It
and
was either you or it was him. And
yeah, and then Chris Lamb come into it a little bit later on as well. And then he was up there, and then Jake went off to America. So
did all you want to be when you were younger was a bowler?
Yeah, still do now.
Still do now.
Trying to, but
are you thinking about doing the Dom thing and the Stew thing and maybe?
Yeah, I'd like to, but first of all, I need to sort out my qualifications and stuff, so I have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
But then also, I need to work at the moment to get the money to pay for it till either get some sponsorship from a business or something like that to fund it, because it gets quite expensive.
You've kind of got to hit the floor running as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
I mean, if you bowl an EBT, you need to be cashing pretty quick, otherwise
exactly.
It's 2 a year when it could be 4 a year.
Yeah. Luckily, my first few I did cash in, and then the end part of last year I didn't do so well, and so it cost me a little bit of money, but luckily I'd started saving, so because I knew what I wanted to do.
What are you going to fall back on if it's not bowling?
Accounting.
Oh, well,
yeah.
So there's no poor accountants, is there? when you're good with figures.
Yeah.
What are you going to do in the next round? Are you going to attack anything a little bit different, or are you going to just play it as you played it before?
Hopefully play the same. I'm not sure if there's a redress before final step 2 or not. I haven't read up on it yet.
I would think so.
I'm guessing there is.
I would think so.
But it's quite late, so get some food and get drink now, and then head back down and go with the same game plan, and hopefully it works again.
Well, good luck in the next round, Elliot. We'll let you get off and get your break and everything, because it's cracking on tonight now. So thanks for coming in, and good luck in the next round.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, mate.